Righto guys, so fault number 2, which is another fault that we sometimes come across people having, is that they've plugged into a caravan park or plugged into mains power, but there's no 240 volt power inside the van. So unlike normally, you'd plug in, everything comes alive. Sometimes most people don't experience that, doesn't happen. So number one thing to check, your factory circuit breaker and the circuit breaker in front of here, like I just discussed before, they both also need to be on. Third thing, so probably the most common thing, this little black button on the side of the inverter, that sometimes can pop and you need to press that down and it resets that transfer function of the inverter. So that will allow the inverter to start receiving power from outside and allowing it to bypass through. So yeah, make sure this little black button is popped. Next thing is, if you've tried all those things, you've checked the 2 breakers, you've checked this button, you still don't have 240 volt power, those 2 black plugs that I mentioned in the last section, you can actually unplug them out of the inverter, turn them around and plug them into each other. And what that does is actually bypass the inverter entirely and puts the 240 volt side of things back to the way it was before the inverter was installed, completely bypassing it. If you still don't have power then, you've got bigger issues.